And now we can do business.
My apologies.
Ready, Rob?
Okay. I have one of those days where the earlier you go, the behinder you get.
You ready, Ryan? I don't know, but I was doing stuff today. I came home at 3 and I just took a nap. Okay, Greenville City Council will come to order. Call the roll.
Yes. Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Here.
Schmidt, Whitaker,
Here.
Brown.
Here. Okay, if I can get everyone to stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Before we get started, I wanted to recognize, we have a former city council member that had passed away, Kathleen Floyd. Kathleen served on council for 3 terms. She was a teacher at St. Mary's School. And she, if I remember right, she was one of the council members that spearheaded the GPAT to get the council on TV. So big loss for the community. She was a great lady. I served a couple terms with her. Just very passionate, and she will be missed in the community. With that, I'll take approval of the minutes sent out. So any additions or corrections? Not, they're stand as sent. Approval of the current financial report that was sent out. Need a motion? Yes, so moved. And move to accept the financial report. Call roll.
Yes. Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes. Approval of the agenda. I do have a need for an executive session ordinance. Ohio Revised Code 121-22 to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employer official. I'm sorry.
Make a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
Been moved to accept the agenda as amended. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Ely. Yes. Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes. Hey, next we will move on to public hearing. Anyone would like to come and speak at the podium, please state your name and address. We have a taker.
I want the mayor and the people to have those, and then I have a few extra for those that don't get those.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and the mayor, and definitely the mayor. Okay, what you're going to be seeing, my name is Pat Longfellow, and my address is 6688 Reckworth Road, Greenville, Ohio, and I'm here representing LifeWise Academy. Hopefully you've seen the article that was in the paper recently where the 4th graders are going to be allowed to go out during their release time. LifeWise Academy is a Bible-based character education. It's totally funded through donations with no cost to the school or the families. And of course, the student has to have parental permission. It is just 1 hour a week out of their day. We're starting with the 4th grade and expect to expand each year. The children will walk to a building on the campus of Trinity Wesleyan Church that butts right up to the school property. It's just like a 4-minute walk. And of course, there'll be volunteers going with them. I'm sure you have many questions. That's why you've got pamphlets and all kinds of materials in front of you. But one thing I have in front of you is an invitation to come to an informational luncheon on May the 22nd. It's going to be at Trinity Wesleyan, and we would love to have all of you come. You can bring somebody with you. just let me know by May the 15th. You'll see the details in that letter along with the brochure. And then another paper you have there has a QR code that if you put your camera phone on that, it will send you right to our website. And so those are the main things I just wanted to tell you about it. And I hope that when you hear about it, you will show support. Like I say, this is totally funded by donations. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to come up for public hearing? If not, we will move on to administrative reports. Honorable Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. I have a few items I wanted to bring up, let you know what was going on with Ryan and I particularly. This time of year, particularly, we get out and we try to see some of the businesses, manufacturing and down through town, but and then proclamations. We did, well, I did. Dark County Health Department we had a proclamation for them, and they always have a breakfast. They met at Jack's Cabin. Yeah, it's been a week or so ago, and just to celebrate the health department, give out some awards for some of the people who've been there a long time. And then, of course, one of the big items is they not yet, but they didn't give it to him yet. But this will be the last year for Holman to be our director. So he'll retire at the end of this year. They had a lot of awards that give out, and a lot of people spend a lot of time there. So it was pretty nice to do something like that. I think what's his name? The doctor's been there for 30 years, ever since he came to Greenville. That's when that was a church. What's his name? I can't think of it either. No, I just went blank for some reason. So he just retired from it. Sorry about that. It's like, it's terrible. I could be Osterberg.
Yeah.
Osterberg.
It was on the tip of my
Wow,
tongue too.
it's just like, man, it wasn't going to come. It's like, wow. Okay, so he spent almost 30 years doing that. So ever since his town, he was the hot doctor that helped out with the health department. So it's kind of cool. So then we went to Ryan and I both went up to Schrader's last week. That was kind of a unique experience. They retread the big tires, which is pretty awesome. And how they do that is amazing. I don't think you got to see the plant too well. I'd seen it once before, but it's pretty interesting. They've gotten to a place where they've brought in some people from like I would assume they probably have green cards that are alien to the United States, and they said it worked out great. They got at least 4 right now, and they may try to get some more. I think they want to see some kind of company that's that does that kind of thing where they'll like screen people that come in the United States and have the work permits and that kind of thing, and they bring them in. They said they're working out great, so that they hope that they stay for a long time, and they'd like to get more. I think they need 20, 30 people. Right now, it wasn't quite that many. It was around 20.
It was, 15, I think.
20, 15 to 20. So then, and then they still have, I think they still have about the same as they did before pandemic. So it's a little bit of, shows kind of a trend. Did that, we did a combined proclamation with the commissioners for child abuse. It's kind of their week, last week and month. Also, the group they call the majority out of the schools, the middle school and high school, where they like sign papers and say they're not going to use drugs and alcohol. It's a great deal. Usually have a parade downtown before the pandemic, but they've stopped that. And I don't know if they're going to pick that back up, but they instead of the parade, they take the kids out and they have a fun day. So it's kind of a cool deal. So that's going strong. They have about 50 members, I think, in that, at least with the middle school. So maybe there's more. That's in our school here in the area. So that's a county-wide program. We did the reopening of Walmart. They call it like a refresh. Of course, if you ever go shopping there, it's you can't really find anything. So I have to learn it all over again. But it does look nice. They did an optimization of the area to make sure they have more room to put more product, and then they opened up the new deli and a lot of different fruits and vegetable places. It looks nicer, more lighting, clean the floor up. So that was fun. Did that last Friday morning. So that was kind of a cool deal. So it worked out great. And also the planning and zoning, tonight we just approved for new signage on the Walmart store. So it's that's going to be unique. I don't think anybody ever, we talked about today a little bit about they used to do a squiggle. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. They have a cheer and a chant that they do. It used to be, they had that little star shaped thing between the Walmart names of Wal and Mart. It was called a squiggle. So they did a chant. They would all do like a squiggle. So I don't know if they're cutting that out because they do that thing now is called a spark. So it's kind of, so I watched everybody do it the other day. So it's
You gotta get up and show us how it's done.
Yeah, you're gonna show us. Yeah.
So a couple of things we just did, we did a visitation to the Beauty Supply Group today, which was pretty awesome. They're going strong. They probably have 70 more people than they did before the pandemic. So they worked, they never slowed down. They worked through the pandemic. They never didn't have any shutdowns, and they hired people all the way through the whole thing. And they do have probably 70 people more than they did at the time before. So like 2020. So
I'm
that's
sorry,
pretty
Mr.
cool.
Mayor. Who did you say that was?
Beauty Systems Group.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
PSG. Yeah, I'm that way. Yeah, I understand.
Thank you.
So that was great. That was a pretty neat thing. There's a lot of people out there and they're scurrying around, and it's amazing. It's amazing that they are doing that well. And I said we've talked about a little bit about, we've heard rumors that they may not be here, long term. And they said, "Boy, we wish we knew where it's coming from," because we hear rumors like we're far from that. They have spent a lot of money putting in a lot of new equipment there. So it's a good deal. And they're rolling, and they can hire more people. They need more people. They have a second and third shift. They want more people on both shifts. So they're looking. We were at Fram a while back. I don't know if I told you that, but they're looking for 30 more people. Ramco's looking for 18 people, something like that. It's like things are really doing well, and I think our revenue is showing it too. It's like for the city, it's doing well. One other thing, National Day of Prayer. I did a proclamation today so they could advertise it. May 5th is at the First United Methodist Church. And it'll be National Prayer Day. So I'll be involved in that like I do every year. So that's a big event that they like to do, and it's a fun time too. So anybody wants to go? First Methodist United Methodist Church on May 5th at noon. And with that, I'll pass.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Safety Service Director Ryan Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. A few things for the night. First, ACH payments are going well. A couple of us that work for the city signed up for it early to kind of be the test pilots, and everything went off as it was supposed to. So that'll be the next month's bills. So May bills then will be anyone who signed up for ACH. They'll be automatic withdrawn. To date, we have 396 signed up, so that's great. We'll get through these, and then we're gonna keep pushing for ACH, and then push for, even if you're not interested in ACH, we're gonna push for people to do emailed invoices, just so we can save on the postage side of things. That helps speed the process up with the ladies in the utilities office, and it is a cheaper way for us to get the information out there, obviously, because we don't have all the postage involved with that. The Dropbox, the new Dropbox on the circle is going well. It's full every morning. Obviously, it's tax time, so that probably had a lot to do with it. I just want to make sure that I clarify, maybe it was, I misspoke last time. So if your payment is due on the 15th of the month, and you put that payment, you can put that payment in there up until 8 a.m. the next day. So after 8 a.m. on the 16th of the month, you'd be late. Anything prior to that, you would still be on time. It falls differently on the weekends and things like that, but to clear it up, you basically have till the next morning to get your payment in that drop box on the due date, the day after the due date. So I just want to make sure I cleared that. We had a couple people that said I mentioned it differently, so just want to make sure everybody was on the same
I think
page.
it sounded like 8 a.m. the day of, and after that you were.
Yeah, so it's the next day.
Yep.
So I just want to make sure we're clear. So the old drop box that's on the side of the building, we are leaving open for now. We will close that up on May 1st, and we put out press releases on that side of it. We have a sign over there. We've had a lot of people, they'll put it in there and then they'll come in and be like, hey, I put it in and I read the sign. Am I okay? So everyone's okay. When you can't use it anymore, you won't be able to open the door. And that's the way we're moving in that direction. Lead service line project is buttoning up. They're working on the paving items. And then we have some legislation for tonight to do another $140,000. So as long as legislation goes through, we're going to apply for a change order to try to do a few more of those lead service lines in that same general area that we've found while in this project. And then we've applied for an additional $50,000 grant with the EPA to identify all those lead service lines. So we can go around and get our next area ready. That way, if more grant funds come available, we can go after those. So hopefully at the end of this month, they're looking at April 29th because of all these grant funds we're getting and the direction that the city's going with lead lines are a big push in the water industry right now. We're looking at the deputy director of the US EPA would like to make a visit to Greenville. They like to do like a press time and do a speech, kind of like when the lieutenant governor came. In the EPA world, it's a big deal, and it's a big deal for us. So once we get those dates and times kind of buttoned down, I'll let you guys know so you can all attend if you would like. And last but not least, kind of a quick thing that just popped up today, Saturday night, since the weather is going to be nice, the Greenville Municipal Band is going to do a small concert out in the band shell, kind of a test run to get them tuned up for their summer concert series. So if no one has anything to do on Saturday evening, they're going to be out there at 7 p.m. Doing a small concert. They should be wrapped up by 8 o'clock. And with that, I will pass.
Thank you, Mr. Delk. City Law Director, Michael Ruman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Big things that kind of been happening last month that's been an ongoing project that's taken a lot of my time is we're still working through with the township what our options are on ensuring that our fire departments can kind of work together. A lot of that's fell on to me to figure out structurally what we can do, working through that process. Obviously, it's very important to make sure that it's done right. And so we're looking at what our options are with that. And so that's been taking quite a bit of time. And we've got another meeting coming up in May. And hopefully we continue to move forward with that process. But it's a process that everybody agrees is worthwhile. It just takes a little time to make sure all the pieces fit together appropriately. So anybody has any questions about anything? Otherwise, I will pass.
Thank you, Mr. Law Director. City Auditor, Hoxane Woolman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I have just a couple of items for this evening. First of all, I need to notify the council that a fire escrow account at Greenville National Bank was closed on April 7th, and the funds were dispersed to the property owner as they had updated their property, and it was approved. Also, next week, our 2021 audit will begin. We have auditors coming in to start their field work. The reason I'm telling you that is that they asked for all of your email addresses. So I imagine you're going to be getting some information from them. So I don't know what form it's going to take. They may ask you some questions, but they have your number now. So just wanted to let you know. And with that, I will pass.
Thank you. So with that, does everyone on council have getting their emails?
No.
Okay. So Leon, let's talk afterwards.
Okay.
And figure that out. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. All right, next we will move on to committee reports. Do we have any committee reports? Nothing. Ordinances and resolutions. First, we have an ordinance, supplemental ordinance.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the general and park fund and sum as follows. Equipment maintenance admin in the amount of $1,000. These funds are needed for city van maintenance. CIP transfers elected auditor and treasurer in the amount of $45,796.75. These funds represent assessments received on the Wagner Avenue road widening project and will be transferred to the CIP fund to make loan payments on the project. Travel and Education Police Department in the amount of $615. These funds are needed for new police officer training and were provided by a refund of training fees for an officer leaving city employment. Capital improvements, light poles / street utilities in the amount of $3,282.95. These funds are needed to replace a light pole struck by a vehicle on North Broadway. The vehicle operator will be billed. Gas, oil, and vehicle maintenance, fire department in the amount of $180.27. Gas, oil, and vehicle maintenance, sewage disposal department in the amount of $278.76. Gas, oil, and vehicle maintenance, stormwater in the amount of $818.76. And gas, oil, and vehicle maintenance, street department in the amount of $1,469.10. These funds are needed for gas, oil, and vehicle maintenance expenses and were provided by tax rebates. Transfers park in the amount of $273,769. These funds represent a federal grant reimbursement on the splash pad project, which will be transferred back to the general fund.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only, second, third time.
Been moved by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules on this ordinance, read it by title, second, third time. Discussion? Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022.
Move to adopt the supplemental ordinance.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Okay, next, we have a resolution authorizing financial assistance in support of the endeavors of certain community-based entities.
A resolution authorizing financial assistance in support of the endeavors and pursuits of certain community-based entities. This resolution authorizes financial assistance to community-based entities as follows. Dark County Visitors Bureau, $20,000. Main Street Greenville, $25,000. Dark County Horseshoe Ohio State Tournament, $1,500. Dark County Horseshoe Ringer Classic Tournament, $1,500. Fireworks Reserve, $14,000. ULO Dark County, $10,000. Union Cemetery, $5,000. Dark County Historical Society, $250. Greenville Girls Softball Association, $2,000. Back the Blue Committee, $1,000. And Annie Oakley Committee, $1,500.
Move to suspend the rules and give this resolution its second and third reading by title only.
Moved by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing financial assistance in support of the endeavors and pursuits of certain community-based entities. A resolution authorizing financial assistance in support of the endeavors and pursuits of certain community-based entities.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt. Discussion? Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Okay, next we have a resolution authorizing submission of a proposal with the ODOT for grants through FTA for calendar year 2023.
A resolution authorizing submission of proposals with the Ohio Department of Transportation for grants through the U.S. Federal Transit Administration, FTA, in the state of Ohio and execution of a contract with the Ohio Department of Transportation upon grant proposal acceptance for calendar year 2023. This resolution authorizes the submission of proposals with ODOT for grants through the FTA and state of Ohio to execute the contract with ODOT upon grant acceptance during calendar year 2023.
Move to suspend the rules, give this resolution second and third reading by title only.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution second and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
Neely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing submission of proposals with the Ohio Department of Transportation for grants to the U.S. Federal Transit Administration FTA in the state of Ohio and execution of a contract with the Ohio Department of Transportation upon grant proposal acceptance for calendar year 2023. Resolution authorizing submission of proposals with the Ohio Department of Transportation for grants through the U.S. Federal Transit Administration FTA in the state of Ohio and execution of a contract with the Ohio Department of Transportation upon grant proposal acceptance for calendar year 2023.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Whitaker to adopt. Discussion? Call the roll?
Neely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Next, we have a resolution authorizing bidding for the salt barn project at the street department.
A resolution authorizing bidding for the salt barn project at the street department. This resolution authorizes the bidding for the salt barn project at the street department for necessary improvements.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title on second and third time.
Moved by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, read this resolution by title, second, third time. Discussion? Call the roll?
Neely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing bidding for the salt barn project at the street department. A resolution authorizing bidding for the salt barn project at the street department.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt. Discussion?
Hey, Ryan, is this gonna get people bidding on it this time? Is it gonna be better than the last time?
Yeah, so this is just to send it for bids.
Yeah.
The engineer's estimate came back right around $1 million and the last one was 1.2. So we knocked about 200,000 off and we'll see where
It's
the
gonna be
bids
a
come.
hoop type building.
Yes. We'll have concrete walls
Yeah.
and then a hoop on top. Yep, similar.
Similar to like the state has.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Call the roll?
Neely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have a resolution authorizing Safety Service Director to apply for the WPCLF or WSRLA on behalf of the city.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to apply for, accept, and enter into a Water Pollution Control Loan Fund, WPCLF, or Water Supply Revolving Loan Account, WSRLA, agreement on behalf of the city of Greenville for planning, design, and/or construction of water facilities and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to apply for a WPCLF or WSRLA agreement on behalf of the city for planning, design, and construction of water facilities.
Move to suspend the rules and give this resolution second, third reading by title only.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this resolution second and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll?
Neely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to apply for, accept, and enter into a Water Pollution Control Loan Fund, WPCLF, or Water Supply Revolving Loan Account, WSRLA, agreement on behalf of the city of Greenville for planning, design, and/or construction of water facilities and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan. Resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to apply for, accept, and enter into a Water Pollution Control Loan Fund, WPCLF, or Water Supply Revolving Loan, WSRLA, agreement on behalf of the city of Greenville for planning, design, and/or construction of water facilities and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt the resolution. Discussion?
This is the water plant? Or it says facilities.
Right. So this is that lead service line for the additional 140,000 for the lead service line project.
Okay.
What area are they gonna extend to do that?
It's just finishing up a few spots in the same area.
Okay.
So there were some that you have to identify all of them on the front end that you go for the grant. And then through the process of the construction, they found others in the same area that this will fix.
Any other discussion? Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Okay, that completes our ordinances and resolutions. Next, we will move on to new business. Do we have anything? Old business? Council representation of outside committees, community action.
Well, I had my first board meeting with them, and they are trying to look forward to moving from, virtual to face-to-face meeting, but that's not accomplished yet due to the powers to be at the state level. So we're hoping for, I'm looking forward to a face-on-face. Programs are moving forward per their agreements and their goals for the year. So that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Communications.
We received the second quarter report from the fire department and the monthly report of March from the police department and transit department.
Okay. Call of council.
Ely,
I will pass tonight. Thank you.
Godwin,
I want to make a motion to excuse the absence for this month.
Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
And condolences to the Kathleen Floyd family. I took her position when she retired on city council, and she was one that I went and talked to, and she told me, she goes, I hope you like reading, because there was going to be a lot of it, which she didn't lie. And she'll be missed. And with that, I'll pass.
Norris,
Yeah, I echo that too, because Kathleen was quite a woman as far as a teacher goes and representing the city for the 12 years that she was on council. So with that, I'll pass.
Rogers,
Yes, condolences also to the Floyd family. They used to be neighbors of mine when I moved into Greenville. So got to know them. They were a fine family. Also, May is Motorcycle Awareness Month. So be prepared. There's going to be a lot of weather coming up, and motorcycles are going to be everywhere. And I ride one also. That's the reason I brought it up. So, just be aware and be cautious. With that, I pass.
Whitaker,
I wanted to thank Pat Longfellow for coming and providing the information on Lifewise Academy. I got invited to the early meetings of this organization and of course, love the idea. It's a legal program where religious instruction is possible to public school students during the school day through this program. And Lord knows we need it. Given what's going on in the world today, there can't be too much exposure to that. And it's a great thing that the Greenville School District is allowing for this to happen. So Pat, thank you very much. And what day is the 22nd?
It's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday, okay. I want to encourage anyone to go to that luncheon that they're providing and get more information on this. I'm excited that the school district is participating in this and along with Trinity Wesleyan Church. With that, I pass.
Brown,
Yeah, I echo Jeff. Thanks for coming. I think it's awesome. I first read about this, saw it online, and was pleasantly surprised. I think there's been, let's say, kudos to the school board in general. There has been a couple programs that have been brought back to the high school. A couple other programs that are being introduced through the elementary as well as all the way up. So I think it's awesome that they're doing those steps. And with that, I'll pass.
President Baumgartner,
I will pass, but I will take a motion to rise to executive session.
So moved.
Call the roll.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.